It's the women's classification matches to see who finishes between 5th and 8th spot. 8 countries entered and were split into 2 groups, with the top 2 going through to the semi-finals. Third in each group plays 4th from the other, and those are the matches we have today. The winners will then play off for 5th, the losers for 7th. In this first match we have El Salvador in blue against Peru in white. El Salvador lost all 3 of their group games to Canada, Brazil and Colombia, while Peru were third in Group B, beating the host nation but losing to USA and Argentina. Peru were out to show that they were unlucky not to make the semi-finals, and El Salvador were the ones who ended up paying for that. 15-4 at the first break underlined the Peruvian superiority, and in the second quarter they managed to prevent El Salvador from recording a single point. 27-4 at half-time, and the match was already over as a contest. It could have, and indeed should have, been more of a rout than it was. Peru had all the possession with 101 attempts on goal in a 40-minute match. That they only scored on 23 of those possessions is an indication of why they came up short in the group stages. Be that as it may, there was plenty of decent play in there from the whites. And it ended up being 48-19 to Peru. Delight and relief for them. They will play for 5th place, while El Salvador will play for 7th. And here is the match to determine Peru's and El Salvador's opponents. Colombia in yellow, who finished 3rd in Group A with a win over El Salvador but losses to Canada and Brazil, faced Chile in red, who came bottom in Group B. But as you can hear, they are being spurred on by the home crowd. There was an early flurry from Chile, but then, as expected, Colombia responded quickly. They were 10 points clear after 8 minutes and 33-20 up at the half. Number 14, Gladys Gomez for Colombia, ended up with 22 points on the day, as well as dishing out 6 of her team's 10 assists. Colombia also recorded 19 steals, with Gomez getting 8 of them, as well as picking up 12 rebounds and drawing 9 fouls. It was a real standout performance by her, with support from the likes of Lizette Alvarez, number 5. There's confirmation of score at half-time, despite the best efforts of both coaches. The third quarter was then a low-scoring affair. Play went from one end to the other, with the 2 teams trading baskets. And when Chile scored the first 6 points of the final quarter, the fans dared to dream. They never managed to get the deficit down to single figures, however, and Colombia ran out 48-33 winners. And the final basket of the match went fittingly to Gomez. Colombia therefore play Peru for 5th place, while Chile face El Salvador for 7th.